I'm Jennifer, and this is Movie Talk. Friendship, trust, finding where you truly belong, and a lot of great music. That's what you get in the Disney classic Oliver and Company. This movie was made in 1988, so next year will be its 30th anniversary. And it is probably one of my absolute favorite Disney movies. It holds first place with The Lion King, The Fox and the Hound, and Bambi, as I can't decide between the four of them which one is my absolute favorite movie. And if you can't tell, they're all animal movies. Because I have a little thing about animals. I just love animals. This movie is based on the Charles Dickens classic Oliver Twist, with a few changes. Where Oliver Twist primarily is about humans, this has mostly animals in it. There are really only 4 humans in the whole movie. And also, Oliver Twist takes place in London, where Oliver and Company takes place in New York City. And I believe Oliver Twist takes place in the 17 or 1800s. I don't exactly know when it was written or when it was supposed to take place because I never actually read the book, although I heard the book is good, so if you want to check it out, feel free. And then Oliver and Company takes place in the 1980s. But other than that, it's very, very similar. A little orphan down in his luck gets in with a bunch of street bums. And I use the term street bums very nicely. And then eventually finds the home he always wanted. Now, in this story, Oliver is an adorable little orange kitten. And really, the first time I saw him when I was a little girl, my heart just melted because I love kittens. I absolutely do. I mean, who doesn't love kittens? They're so cute and cuddly. And he is voiced by Joey Lawrence. And all Oliver wants is a home and a place to belong. And really, that's all anybody really wants. And he is out basically on his own. He's probably about 8 weeks old. That's about, the age that kittens and puppies are taken away and adopted out. So I would peg him about no younger than 8 weeks old. And he's the only one of his brothers and sisters that doesn't get adopted right away. Excuse me, my eyes are watering. And he is found by a Jack Russell Terrier named Dodger, who is voiced by Billy Joel. And Billy Joel also does Dodger's singing voice because he is in the music profession. And actually, Dodger doesn't strike me as a Jack Russell Terrier because Jack Russell Terriers are a lot smaller than how Dodger is portrayed. But, poetic licensing, I would actually say he's dominant is Jack Russell, but he's probably mixed in with a lot of other stuff because he is a street dog. He is more than likely not a purebred like his friends. It's just Wikipedia stated the more dominant aspects of them, and Dodger's is probably more Jack Russell Terrier. But I'm digressing. And they become, and Oliver in turn also becomes friends with Dodger's friends, a Saluki named Rita, or a predominant Saluki named Rita. Which is my favorite breed one of my favorite breeds of dog. And she is voiced by Sherry Lee Ralph, and Ruth Pointer actually does Rita's singing voice in this movie, as Rita has a very nice, energetic song called Streets of Gold that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite songs in the movie. And Dodger also has a song in the movie. It's called Why Should I Worry? It's another one of my favorite songs. Actually, I have 4 favorite songs in this movie. Those are 2 of them. The other 2 are Once Upon a Time in New York City, which is the opening song, and Good Company. Also in this gang of dogs is a Chihuahua, and I think he's really the only one who might actually be a purebred, named Tito, who is voiced by Chica Messina, I believe is how you say his name. A bulldog named Francis, who speaks with a British accent, who is voiced by Rosco Lee Brown. I don't know if he's actually British, but he does put a British accent on Francis, and I don't know if that was his choice. If he's not British, I don't know if that was his choice or if that was Disney's choice or if it was a collaboration, but I kind of liked it because in the movie Francis it's a good throwback to where the screenplay came from. as the story itself, Oliver Twist takes place in London. And it's also kind of cute because Francis is among the gang the more sophisticated one. He likes to watch cultural movies and stuff, and he doesn't like to be called Frankie, which is what a lot of the gang calls him. He likes to be called Francis. So it's kind of, him having a British accent is kind of cute. It's kind of funny. And like I said, it's a nice little nod to Charles Dickens. Also in the gang, the last dog in the gang is a Great Dane named Einstein, who is voiced by Richard Mulligan. And Einstein's not really the brightest dog in the pack, but he's still very lovable. He kind of reminds me of a gray Scooby-Doo to a degree, except he's not cowardly. So I think that's probably why I kind of like him. Or actually, he reminds me more of Scooby-Dum, because Scooby-Dum was actually gray, and he was a Great Dane. That's kind of just his character. And also in the gang, the only non-animal member of the gang is Fagin. And he is voiced by Dom D. Lewis. And the big part of the movie, and I don't know if this was actually in the book or not, because like I said, I haven't read the book, is that Fagin owes a lot of money to a loan shark / ship owner by the name of Sykes, who is voiced by Robert Logana. And he has 3 days to repay the debt. And I don't know how much, they never actually come on and say how much the money was, because it was irrelevant. And Sykes has 2 Doberman Pinschers, and I'm going to come out and say this right now. I love Doberman Pinschers. I think they're very beautiful dogs. But these 2 Doberman Pinschers, Rosco and DeSoto, played by Torrance Burkhardt and Carl Winterrub, respectively, are not my favorite Doberman Pinschers, but they're not supposed to be. They're the animal bad guys in the movie, and they are Sykes' hench dogs. But they are the classic Doberman. Like, if you were to see any Doberman Pinscher in a movie, they are basically the very classic ones. Very big, very muscular, the pointed, docked ears, or cropped ears, which I hate, because if you actually see an actual Doberman, they have cute little floppy ears. And the docked ears is just something that has to be done for show dogs, because that's how they were bred. I don't like it, because it's like somebody taking your ear and cutting it. And then the docked tail, which again, I don't like, because an actual Doberman has a long tail, and again, it's docked. And again, it's just like somebody taking and docking, or cutting off like an appendage on your body. It's just not something I like. But that's my profession. But that's just not my profession, my personal opinion. I think that dogs should be kept natural, but I understand for show dog purposes, because I'm probably going to have a lot of people here who have show dogs that are saying, oh, well, you know, if you show your dog, it has to be this way. I understand. If you show a dog and you have a Doberman or a Rottweiler, it has to look a certain way. I do understand that, and Disney was portraying it, that was portraying Rosco and DeSoto in the show dog fashion. I get it. But that is my one little pet peeve about the show, is that I just didn't like the docked ears, or the cropped ears and the docked tails on Rosco and DeSoto. That was it. That's going to be my one little gripe, and we're going to move on. Also in this movie, on the flip side of the show, of the movie, because Oliver, he gets a taste of the street life, and then he gets a taste of what some would say is the good life, when he is taken in by a sweet little girl. I don't know how old she is. I'd say maybe about 9 or 10. A sweet little girl by the name of Jenny, who is voiced by Natalie Gregory, and then Mahan Tran actually does her singing voice, because remember that song I said that I liked, Good Company? Jenny actually sings it. And she is a sweet little girl who lives on Park Avenue, and she finds Oliver in her family's limousine, and she decides she wants to keep him. And her parents are actually out of town. They're in Europe for a conference, and she is being looked after by the family's butler, Winston, who is voiced by William Glover. And also in the family is a prize-winning, purebred standard poodle by the name of Georgette, who is voiced by Betty Miter or Meidler, and Georgette is the quintessential rich girl. I mean, I could put another word in there. You probably could tell that I was thinking of another word, but I want to be nice and not say a bad word, even though it would actually fit with her. She's the quintessential, but anyway, she's the quintessential rich girl that you see in a lot of the movies. She is spoiled. She thinks everything revolves around her. I mean, her whole room is basically statues of her. And whatnot, her bed, her vanity, everything in her room is her, is modeled after her. And it's actually very quite comical. And it's like she thinks the sun rises and sets with her. And she's this beautiful poodle. And she is just, but she's spoiled rotten. I mean, the family probably got her before Jenny was born or right after Jenny was born or something. Or she comes from a very long line of show dogs. They don't actually say. I'm actually guessing that, because I'm guessing Jenny is about 9 or 10. Georgette's probably about 5. So maybe like right after, but Georgette is basically spoiled rotten. And she thinks everything is all about her. And she is not happy that Oliver comes to live with the family because she does not want to share her home with a cat. And particularly a mixed breed cat from the streets. She thinks that the family's better than that. And just as a side note, the family actually lives on Park Avenue, which anybody who knows New York knows that's a very ritzy, or at least in the 1980s, was a very ritzy place to live. And I don't want to involve too much in the movie, although since it's coming up on its 30th anniversary, most of you have probably seen it. But it is a very cute movie, and it does have a lot of great songs in it. And the storyline is actually it's classic Disney, but it's also has a good lesson in it, and it's that trust is everything, but when someone finds true happiness, you shouldn't stand in the way of that. And that is something that Dodger and his friends learn when they go to rescue Oliver from Jenny, and they get him back, and he says that he was happy there, and he wants to go home. He wants to go back, and Dodger has a hard time accepting it because he's the one who actually found Oliver, so I think he actually feels a little responsible for him. Rita, when they find him at Jenny's house, starts to wonder, is this really a good idea? Should we be taking him away? And when she finds out that he was happy there, that there was a little girl there that loved him, she was like, we shouldn't have done this. We should have just left him there. There's that. It's like, if you have a friend who's happy, don't stand in the way of their happiness, and don't think that because they're moving up doesn't mean you're not going to be part of their life. Because just because Oliver moves, and I don't think I have to tell you that Oliver goes and moves in with Jenny, but just because Oliver goes to live on Park Avenue doesn't mean that he forgets his friends. In fact, the movie ends with them leaving after a visit. Fagin and the dogs leaving after a visit to Jenny and Winston and Georgette and Oliver. Oliver obviously hasn't forgotten his street friends, and Jenny hasn't forgotten her street friends as she becomes friends with them. And it's also that part of it, and this is where the opening song, Once Upon a Time in New York City comes in, is if you keep your head up and you don't stop dreaming your dreams, you'll find your dreams. And I believe that's a very good message to get across, because Oliver kept his head up throughout this whole movie. He never really let it get him down, or never really let anything get him down, and he eventually found what he was looking for. And I believe that's a very good lesson to teach kids, is keep your head up, keep trying, follow your dreams, keep dreaming your dreams, and you'll find what it is you're looking for, or what it is you're meant to be, or where you're meant to be. So I'm going to wrap up this movie. I really do love this movie. It is among my favorites. I actually had the video cassette of it. I got it when it was released back, re-released to video. And then, since I don't have a video cassette player anymore, I mean I do, but it doesn't play videos anymore, it eats them. I went out and I got the DVD, which I have been looking everywhere for, and I finally found it. And again, yes, it's one of my favorite movies. It is right up there with Bambi and the Fox and the Hound, which came out before it. And up until The Lion King came out, I could honestly say it was my favorite Disney movie. Now it kind of shares that spot with The Lion King. And don't ask me which one of the four I like better, because as I stated in the beginning of this video, I can't choose. I love all four of them. I love The Fox and the Hound. I love Bambi. I love The Lion King. And I love Oliver and Company. So I just, it's like asking a parent to choose their favorite child. I just can't do it, even though I had nothing to do with these videos, or these movies. But one of my absolute favorite Disney movies. And I will do videos on Bambi, and the Fox and the Hound, and The Lion King, and also their sequels. So please look for those. They probably won't be anytime soon, but you know, within the next month, I will be doing those. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. I'm Jennifer. This has been Movie Talk. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.